Good morning, everyone. Before we learn how to hand pollinate, first we'll learn how to identify male and female flowers. Now, this over here, this is a female pumpkin flower. How you can identify that? By this tiny pumpkin that is already growing at the end of this bud, where this bud is connecting to the stem. If this gets pollinated properly, this flower will drop off and the pumpkin behind it will grow. Now this over here is a male flower. How you can identify that? As you can see in this flower, there is no tiny pumpkin attached to its end. So this is a male one. I'll use it to hand pollinate the female flower. And then let's see how it goes. This is how this female flower bud has been growing so far. So even before a flower has blossomed, we can identify whether it's male or female. It's been about a week and this is how this female flower looks right now. About 10 hours later and here we are. The female flower is blossomed. Look how absolutely gorgeous it looks. And see, at the end of this flower we can see this tiny pumpkin that is already growing. Now we'll be hand pollinating this flower. And if it gets pollinated properly, then this flower will drop off and the pumpkin behind it will grow into a full grown pumpkin. Otherwise, this flower will simply dry off. Now this inner portion, this is called the stigma of the flower, where the pollen needs to be deposited. Finally, this male flower is blossomed. See this portion in the middle? This is called the stamen. This is the portion that produces the pollen. And this is the main part that is required to hand pollinate the stigma of a female flower. And as you can see, there is not a tiny pumpkin attached at the end of this flower, so we can easily identify that this is a male flower. See, this is the female flower. As you can see, a tiny pumpkin growing at its end. So this will be the female flower, and this over here is the male flower which we will be using to hand pollinate. Now what you have to do is take off this male flower or cut it off. One last look at both the male and female flowers together. So beautiful, isn't it? Now let's get to work. Now what you gotta do is take this male flower and can you see all the pollen here? Wow! We'll transfer all this onto the female flower. Now pull back its petals and expose the stamen carefully. Make sure the pollen doesn't fall. Here it is. Here's the stamen and look at this pollen. Wonderful, wonderful. Now take it to the female flower and rub the stamen which has all the pollen onto the female flower's stigma. Rub it nicely. And if you have multiple female flowers, you can use this same male flower stamen to pollinate all of them. You can use the same male flower to pollinate multiple female flowers. Actually, you don't have to rub so much. Even a slight touch or even a tiny speck of pollen transferred from male onto the female flower will be enough. But this is the first time I'm growing pumpkin and first time I'm hand pollinating the pumpkin flower. So no way I'm taking any chances. Now these male and female flowers, they blossom only for few hours. So sometimes it has happened with me that they keep on blossoming alternatively. In that case, what you can do is you can cut off this male flower and tie up its petals and refrigerate it until your female flowers blossom. You can save the pollen of the male flower in this way for almost a week. And throughout that week, whenever your female flower keeps on blossoming, you can keep on pollinating that using this same male flower. Similarly, if your female flower is not able to collect the pollen properly, for example, in my case, we had strong winds here, so the pollen was again and again flying off. In that case, what you can do is, after pollinating this female flower, you can tie up its petals also. and keep it tied up this way for 3-4 hours. After that, anyways, this female flower starts closing off because it opens up only for few hours in the morning, and by afternoon it starts closing up. So it will give the pollen enough time to stay inside the female flower and do its work. So this also means even if all your environmental factors are conducive to growth, still you'll only have few hours to hand pollinate. So be careful and be vigilant when the flower blossoms when the time comes. Look at the size of this pumpkin. It's only been 2 days and look how much it has grown. Imagine by harvest time how much it will have grown. Now, I'll be using this same trick for all my upcoming male and female flowers. In case you're interested in viewing the full growth of this pumpkin from seed to harvest throughout all the stages, I have the full video linked in my description box. You can have a look at it. Thank you.